If you've been suffering from that inner battle between your head and your heart as to how you let go of your twin flame, stay tuned because I'm going to share with you 8 steps that can help you detach from your twin flame in the physical reality. Hello, fellow flames. In case we haven't met, my name is Dr. Harmony, and I will help you live fearless, live loved, and live free. Welcome to part 3 of my detachment series of how to move beyond this twin flame paradox and learn and understand the difference between letting go and detaching. Today I'm going to share with you 8 steps that can help you learn to let go physically of the physical attachment of your twin flame. And I'll be sharing some more emotional sides of that coming up in videos to come, so stay tuned. If you haven't caught the first 2 series, make sure to check out the cards above and the links below. So first, before we jump in, I just want to say, because this is such a huge topic, that how do I let go of my twin flame is like the one of the #1 questions I'm constantly getting. I'll explain more of that in those videos. However, I want you to realize, if you're picking up here, that you're not letting go of your twin flame. You're letting go of your own fear, your own control, your own idea of your wounds, of lack and limitation, and the shadows of who you are. And the difference then of letting go and basically surrendering is you're letting go of the control and you're surrendering to the process of allowing things to unfold. So you're really letting go of an outcome. You're letting go of the conditions, the expectations. And you're learning to master your own life lessons that's allowing you to come into a place of trusting yourself, trusting your guidance, trusting your journey. And that's why this is called mastery, and why patience, tolerance, trust, and timing are the ultimate virtue of all virtues to master. And how and why you contracted with your twin flame in order to master this deep, deep, deep lesson that you came here to experience. So let's jump into the 8 steps to physically detach from your twin flame. The first one is you need to honor the concept and the idea of free will. That trips so many people up because they're like, okay, there's a destiny and then there is the free will, and how do you really kind of, what is the difference and how do you really honor that? Let's look at the free will and destiny concept first. Destiny is an idea that you signed up to experience something for your soul's evolution and the personal development of your mastery that I mentioned. Technically, that destiny must be fulfilled in your personal journey, your personal learning. And the free will is how you go about the journey, basically. And that means that to honor free will is leading you to freedom. And to be free, that means you have to go in a place of flow, flexibility, fun, to arrive to more of the freedom that this whole soul freedom is what this whole journey is about, and what your twin flame contracted with you in an agreement was to help you free your soul. So the #1 thing that your twin flame is here for is to help you create freedom within yourself. And so the free will in that is how you find you. Not so much how you align with your twin, or, you will hold each other in check, and there are certain aspects of the destiny of, in a soul, a contract of what did you agree upon as to, were you to be together? Were you to do the planetary mission here? Those things are to be determined. But back to the lesson of this is the trust that they're teaching you. So you're battling and finding balance here between this concept of destiny and free will, and know that we're collapsing boundaries and we're collapsing programs and we're collapsing the limitations of our soul that we've been bound to contracts for so long. This life is about destruction of all those contracts, limitations, lack. We are moving into this sense of infinite possibilities, infinite potential within ourselves, but in everything around us. So you have to get away from this idea that your twin flame journey is the end all be all that says that everyone, now that's not to say some people aren't, okay? Because in the big spectrum, there's shadow and light, and there's positive and negative, and there's going to be reunion, and there's not going to be reunion, dependent upon your own agreement. You have to somehow come to a place of bringing balance to that inside of yourself, of your own union. And then know that it is the energetic bond that is connected, that is creating a magnetic pole, that is directing you to you. So that then from there in step 2, once you kind of come to this place of honoring yourself, really, and I say honor very well, really, let's change that to honor you, okay? That's really what it means. So in step 2, you need to make a conscious choice to commit to you, to commit to yourself, to commit to this journey, to say yes to the idea that I'm going to move beyond the soul bondage I've been under for many, 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 many lifetimes, and the memory pattern that my soul has been connected to conditioning and expectations and persecution and the shadows and the triggers and the wounds that are being triggered through this process. But in the conscious choice, it's making an intentional choice that says that I'm willing to see me. I'm willing to face those wounds. I'm willing to face the fear. And I'm also willing to let go of the idea that only one person can make me happy, because you're the only person that can make yourself happy. Happiness is a choice. Happiness is dependent upon your perception, your free will of aligning with limitless potential and possibilities, and aligning with the joy inside of you that can connect you to your highest version of you, which is unlocking along this way, this ascension process, the enlightenment of your light and love, and letting your highest possibilities, potential unfold gracefully. And when you try to limit that to any one person, including your twin flame, that is like keeping it stuck, they may not be of your highest good, and especially not if it's in that push, pull, purge that's causing you to continue to be triggered over and over. Because what happens is, and I'm going to come to this in a minute to follow up on this, you end up in the process needing to take back the power, which is 5, I'll get there. And it's the turning point of this. And in that, it's finally coming to the conclusion of the other side of this journey that says, I don't care what I've learned on this side. I don't care what I've went through to experience the connection to myself. But now I know and believe that I deserve better than where I'm at or this one person. And you have to get to that, of course. So let's continue in step 3. You have to then, as I kind of mentioned, in the making the choice to commit to yourself, you're making a choice to face your fears. And then believing in facing those, that you're going to allow your wounds to be seen, felt, connected to, integrated with. Because what that's doing is allowing you then to become your own divine parent that is allowing you to love yourself and reconnect to yourself and to master self-love. So when it comes to believing that you deserve better, that is really coming into a place of mastering the actual self-love. And the best way to think of being able to know that you've mastered your ability to experience self-love is for you to start to make all of your actions based on what comes of your highest good and what makes you feel good in the moment, and moving away from your actions being based, like taken based on the fear of what your fear is that are going to cause a reaction in someone else. I'm going to repeat that. Mastering self-love is when your actions are not based on the fear of the reaction of someone else. Mastering self-love is when your actions are not based on the fear of the reaction to others, and especially your twin flame. This is honoring you. This is saying that I will show up, I will stand up, and I will speak my truth without the fear and the limitations of how it's going to affect my twin flame, of how it's going to affect whether they run or they don't. Because the minute you block what you need to do for you in the fear of how that's going to affect someone else, then you just set yourself up and created a limitation that's holding you to the destiny of you being able to move beyond a limitation that's destined and determined to be something, that's trying to be something else through this freedom and the free will of that, so that now you can be able to bring balance to this sort of destiny and this free will, in a sense that you're moving all of your intentional based actions with courage and the confidence that also integrate with grace and gratitude, bringing balance to you. This is very deep, and it's coming through, like, I don't even know honestly how it's coming through, because it's just coming through. But it's about bringing the balance of your soul into alignment of your own masculine and your feminine, and that the truest reunion here is with yourself. And that, that's you're just detaching of your wounds, as we talked about, and that's painful. But by letting go of the wounds, you're collecting more of who you are and becoming more of who you are to become. That's then allowing you to step into that place of the step 3 of believing, now I deserve better than this, whatever this is and whatever you're going through. Most of the time it's the abandonment and the push-pull purge and the disrespect. When you show up for yourself, and you'll teach others how to show up for you. And that's how you can do that in step 4, is learning how to set these loving boundaries, that these actions are staying intentional. They're staying present. They're staying in the moment. They're not focusing on the outcome. Your actions aren't being demonstrated or like tainted by guilt of like, well, a lot of times divine feminine will feel like if they made an action and then their twin ran, they go through a guilty process, which, by the way, is a real process to this letting go of your twin, or like say the separation in itself with your twin is creating a real process of a grieving process of not only the separation of them, but the parts of yourself that you're detaching from. That's in that part 2 of that series, so make sure to watch that if you haven't done so. If you're still having trouble with it, go back to that. But you need to make your actions away from the idea of guilt, and you're without fear and limitation or the expectation of the outcome or the conditioning that you've been conditioned on how you should or shouldn't respond. And a lot of times people in this setting boundaries, you don't realize you need to set boundaries because you're so loving and so giving and so willing to show up for others that you don't realize that in the process you're giving yourself away to them and you're losing your power, which is the step 5 I mentioned. You're taking back your power. This is the turning point here, all the mastery of you being able to let go of this physical attachment to your twin, because it will require you to make some choices through your commitment to yourself as you believe that you deserve better, and as you decide that you don't have to feel guilty for setting a boundary, that however they take it is on them. It's your contract through the destiny that you agreed with your twin for them to get it on their own. So you also agree to be their teacher, and you don't have to take on the pain for them or the suffering for them or the idea that fear of how are they going to respond. They're going to respond exactly how they need to. It's their lesson. Don't own the lesson for them. This is taking back your power. So in the first step of taking back your power in this turning point, you need to consciously stop giving away your power due to the fear that you even need to gain lessons out of this. Because if you've been doing this journey for a certain amount of time, you're on the other side of the fence that says, I'm stepping out of the loop. I'm stepping out of the idea that I have to continue from my masculine side and do all of this stuff and to sabotage myself because I'm being hard on myself and I'm having all these own expectations of myself, because if I worked harder, then I'll be loved. Then my twin will want me, right? No, it's working smarter, not harder. It's your feminine side to say, I deserve for you to show up. I deserve for you to be the one to reach out. I deserve to be loved. And by you setting the boundaries and speaking your truth in these things, you are showing love to yourself, which is how I was saying mastering that love is doing all of your actions for you, not based on the fear of what other people are going to do or how they're going to react in response to your action. So in this turning point of taking back your power, I'm going to repeat that. You're going to stop giving away the power to others out of the fear that you need a lesson, because your lesson is to stop setting yourself up for another lesson. All right? That's where most people are right now. The second part is you will be, in this process, retested to stop giving the power away, or take back the power that you've given away. And that means you might be going through cycles, repeating things, if you're going through the loop of anything right now, you're going through the loop to do what I'm saying and take back your power and stop this. And that's mastering it. And that way that you can, be able to regain your power. I always say where you put your attention and your energy and your focus is your life force. And in that, you want to invest that, like money, into something that's going to return to you. And you want to know that it's nurturing you, that it is feeding you, or that it is multiplying in some positive, beautiful way. And you should only have to put 20% of your effort in for an 80% return. And that return doesn't have to be from one person. It can be from all things. And in taking this power back, where a lot of people have gotten hung up on, is they've also gotten hung up on the idea that the signs and the synchronicities are pointing you to that person, and to know that you have consciously, through that free will and understanding of the freedom and learning to trust this process, you needed those signs and synchronicities to find you and to make your connection with the divine. But the divine's going to back up in this taking your power back, and it's now also about taking your power back from the divine. And it's saying, I get to choose. So it's a matter of, it doesn't matter what the signs are, it doesn't matter what the synchronicities are. It's what matters is what you need to stay in power and empowered within. So step 6 is to detach with love with your twin physically. Start to see this as you pulling back from them as your contracted agreement of the soul's contract of saying, I'm going to pull back so that you can find you. that you can find the freedom. And the greatest gift you can give your twin is the freedom for them to find and discover themselves and stop trying to control and manage them. You have enough to do within your own soul, and to stop doing that for everyone. In doing this, it's going to help you find more acceptance for yourself, and to stop judging yourself, and to stop sabotaging yourself, and to stop judging and sabotaging this journey and everything and everyone around you. And when you see all of what's happening with love and you find the gift in it, it's going to override the anxiety that you tend to carry through this process due to the fear of the loss of love. So basically what you need to do in this sort of taking back power is you can go through the process of revisiting every scenario of where you've given away yourself, given away love, and that you didn't receive it. And especially with your twin. And just go through like a guided meditation within that and find the forgiveness for them for where they're at. See the innocence in it. Send them love. Thank them for the lessons. See the gratitude in it. And then experience yourself realizing that that gift is the love in return to you. It doesn't take saying it, doesn't take showing it. It takes you seeing what they're teaching you to know that that is love. Them finding you, helping you find you, is the greatest gift, the greatest amount of love, and the most unconditional part of this journey. And the sooner you let go of love, and the sooner you will see the love, no matter what the outcome is, coming back to you. And then you can open up the freedom and the flexibility and the flow of allowing it to come in from all areas of your life, love and livelihood, not just one person, being that your whole life is going to bank around that one person. Even if it is your twin, there's no way you can revolve around that kind of love. It's still toxic with your twin. It's letting go of the toxicity that you have in that void that you need to fill up from the inside by doing the things you love. So in step number 7, start to consciously make your choices towards what is considered as your highest good. What's going to be your highest good is going to be things that are going to be bringing you peace in the moment. Kind of stepping up from that though, what you need to realize is that one of the major lessons, as I mentioned, is that you get to choose your choices, the choices to be happy. This is the free will. It's not about, oh, well, if this is destined to be with my twin flame, then I need to do something outside of myself to make that happen. That's not what this journey is about. It's not. If you're doing that, you're stalling the alignment of you. It's a choice. There's nothing to do with this being this connection that's limiting you from having what you want. They might end up bringing it to you, but until you break the old pattern, you're not going through this process of the purge and the purification of your individual souls. It won't come back together to the new way. You have to go to break apart the old pattern. And now it's you becoming your best version. Your highest good becomes what's going to give you the most power within, the greatest amount of purpose, to feel passion, to be playful in it, to experience the love of it. And therefore, you really need to make these choices based on what's in front of you. So staying super present in your choices will help direct you to the highest good. And so many people get to that crossroads of which way do I go? And they're afraid to make the choice based on they're going to screw something up, or the guilt, or the lesson, or all the things that we had talked about, you know, like from the fears. And that means that you're afraid of the outcome. And so you get blocked based on fear of an outcome that will prevent you from keeping the energy moving. And the minute you stick to that, like you attach to something that's creating attachment, that's saying you're holding on to control and the fear, and you attach to it, you just blocked the flow of the process that this whole journey is about. So the key in that is don't worry about, you might over time get stronger in this and know more about what you truly want. But if you don't know 100% what's for your highest good, You make the decisions based on the present moment, and that will lead you to this peace and power process that will take you and direct you towards you becoming connected to what's going to give you the greatest amount of compassion, but fulfillment is the word that I want to say. And compassion is good with that too, because that's what this whole journey is about. And that's why we have the shattered heart, to let that heart become the seat of the soul and to bring in more of what we love into this journey and into our life, so that in step 8, we start to manifest and see in our reality that which we are, and that we become the light, we become the vibration, we become the magnet. And to be able to come to that highest version of that vibration and that magnet, in step 8, we need to focus forward. We need to let go of the story. We need to let go of the idea that only one person can make us happy. We need to let go of the limitations, the outcome, the lack, and go back to what I said with your trusting you, trusting this process that your twin is teaching you in order to do. If you can break this down into kind of like this thought process and these steps, and know that, you know, you're not alone like you feel like you are, that this is something that everyone has to master through this mastery of our soul. And it's like learning how to ride a bike or learning how to swim, learning how to jump out of the tree and know that your wings are going to fly. It's kind of like, you know, I was talking about like going to college and grad school and taking the test and getting a license like I did for being a chiropractor. There's not one person that could have done that for me. Only I could pass the test of what it takes to practice my gift and my craft, right? Well, you are taking a test through this journey of this ascension process, and you are becoming the master of your own reality. And of course, the clearer you can get on the vision of what you want, the better. But going through all these things you don't want will direct you to clearly see more of what you want. So if you keep focusing forward and stop looking back, stop holding on to the past. We're in a new energy. The universe will support us when we move into forward flexibility and freedom and fun and livelihood, like being real playful and lively and making it as the choice to choose happiness and our highest joy and our highest ability to experience love now, not later, and not in separation. All right. If you'd like to learn more and get connected, I am offering again my group program, and this one's going to be moving beyond the twin flame paradox in 6 weeks. It starts Sundays, June 21st. You'll see a link below if you want to reserve your spots. Some people are already getting signed up for it. So, and also make sure to check out parts 1 and 2 over here so that you can connect to more of what this journey is, and stay tuned for the future ones coming up where I'm especially share the tips on the emotional detachment with your twin flame. So make sure to like, comment, share the shine. Let me know where you're at in these steps, and how this video has helped you. Your feedback is phenomenal, and I appreciate it so much. I love you all. May you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.